All right, I'm going to have, let's see, John Kwan. Where's John? Come on up, John. We have an affectionate term for first-timers. It's newbie. John was one of 3 newbies this year. We're privileged to have on our trip Dave Miyahara and Patrick Liu were the other 2. But I've asked John this morning to share his perspective on the trip from a newbie standpoint. All right.
Good morning. My name is John Kwan. I want to thank you all for coming, for all of your prayers, your support, and your encouragement that you give each of us on a team before the trip, during the trip, and after the trip even. So I just want to start off by saying, God is good, and the saying goes, God is good all the time, God is good. These words rang so true for me throughout my time in Oklahoma last month. The Lord expanded my mind, my faith, and my heart in Oklahoma. I feel that even though it was a service trip, our main goal was to be a blessing to others on the trip. In our interactions, in the work that we did, God graciously decided to bless me as well. So on our first night there, God really revealed His mighty presence to us by providing us with a meal from a stranger. So we were at this fried chicken place, and we all walked in the door, and as we're walking in, and there's this family, a father, his wife, and I think a couple kids, and they're just eating their meal, and the father jumps up and says, "Hey, are you guys part of a team or something?" And then Craig goes over and talks to him and kind of explains why we're there and where we're from, and the rest of us just looking over like, okay, he's just curious, and he was, but before we started ordering our food, and before we know it, this guy gets up and he pays for our meal for their entire team, and so that was just an extreme act of generosity. And so in addition to safely getting us there to Oklahoma, this was the first of many signs of God's favor, and that He was watching over us. And that was, for me, that was a theme that really resonated with me throughout the entire trip. I was looking for evidence of God's presence, and the fact that He's watching over us and He's going to provide for us. And for me, as a newbie, so to speak, I felt unprepared in a lot of ways. I didn't know a lot about the construction work or any of that stuff. And I'll talk about more later. But when we started working on the first day, when we did the new build, the new house that we saw, I saw the framework on the picture. It was like my first exposure to the world of awesome power tools. I had no idea that so many cool tools existed. Screw guns, nail guns, all this stuff. My favorite one was I forgot what it was called, but it's like it was at the Greenwood's house. He was using this gun that would shoot straight into the concrete, and it was so loud that he had to say "fire in the hole" every time before he did, and everybody covered their ears, and it was like bam, really loud. It was to connect the beams for the new wall that we built into the concrete. But throughout the trip, one of the things that really stood out to me was the unity of our team. I knew some of the members of the team from before, but a lot of them, had been meeting for the first time. God really brought us all together and blessed our conversations, our interactions with one another. I especially enjoyed the time in our small groups because it really gave us extra dedicated time to share with each other, to encourage each other, and pray for one another. So that was a blessing. So we did plenty of hard work, but as you will see from the pictures and the videos, we had a lot of fun as well. It was an absolute joy to work alongside and learn from each of the men and women on this team. It was amazing to learn from each of their life experiences and hear more about their journey and what God is doing in their lives. I was very encouraged and thankful to have the opportunity to spend a week 24/7 with these brothers and sisters. On the trip, I also had the chance to serve as the team medic, as well as share a devotional and help lead worship during our group times together. So God used these things to keep me focused on Him throughout the trip. Because I feel like for me, I was a little anxious going into the trip as far as, like I said, not knowing a lot of the skills, not knowing what to expect. Going to I've been to, Arizona and Mexico and, places kind of closer to California, but I hadn't been so far, on the other side of the country. So God used these things, serving in these different capacities to stretch me, and I'm thankful for the experience because it grew my faith in God and helped me to really rely on Him, for each worship session, for the devotional and all that stuff. Even the medical thing. I'm a nurse, but it's different to be in a hospital or in a medical office where you have things, you have resources, but on a trip like this, it's just me. So thankfully nothing crazy happened, but it was just that in the back of my mind, hoping nothing, but at the same time just trusting in God. So in conclusion, this trip was an amazing experience because it increased my love for God and my reliance on Him. God proved over and over again His faithfulness and His provision. I would encourage all of you to serve in some fashion, serve the Lord in some fashion, whether it be here in La Puente, locally across the country, or even on the other side of the world. Not only will it increase your faith and allow you to share God's love with others, but God will bless you and reveal His goodness as well. I just wanted to end with a Bible verse from Joshua 3, verse 5. It says, "Then Joshua said to the people, 'Consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you.'" So it just speaks to that God has so many things planned for us to bless us and to bless others, and we just have to be just let go of any expectations we may have and just allow God to do His work in us and through us. So God really is good all the time. Thank you.